Hey, yeah, I'm not doing that. Um, it's me again. I got a lot of feedback on that the first solo cast that I did, and most of it was good, but you sounded depressed, and I was a little bit, I guess, but it was a good kind of depression, the kind that you talk your way out of. You talk through it. I think that's what therapy does in a lot of ways, and it's not even that you're fixing anything. You're talking through something, and it breaks a bubble, or I don't know, knocks a wall down, whatever you want to say it. It just makes you feel better. It opens up a space somewhere, and I don't think I really talked through a life issue as much as like I kind of felt like I was doing something with what I had, and with my situation and how I wanted to. I wanted to be a DJ, and I kind of felt like one toward the end there, just talking into a mic, and so I'm going to do it again, and hopefully not sound as nearly depressed. Actually, what sparked the idea for this one was my lovely girlfriend, who is beautiful and perfect, and I love her. I took her bowling for the first time, and we've been together for over a year and a half, probably now. See, yeah, like maybe a year and a half right now, and we've never gone bowling before, so we went for the first time recently, and it was nice. I enjoyed it. What I enjoyed mostly, I'm normally a very competitive person, and I have to win even on a first kind of date, or like a first experience date or something, however you would word that. But that day I didn't care. I kind of started off caring, but I didn't care. What struck me was her reaction to everything. I mean, we were both not great. I've always been among friends, and like when I used to go to bowling league things with, not league. I was never in a league. I know I don't want to make it sound like I was in a league. Bowling outings with like church groups and stuff. When I was younger, I was always pretty good. I could get a hold of it or hang of it pretty quickly, even if it's been a long time. And I was never like pro level or even semi pro level, but I was always like pretty okay in my list of friends, And every time I've ever gone bowling, there's always been one constant, and that constant was whoever I was with or whatever group I was with never wanted to play a second game. We'd always go, we'd play, I'd either win or get near the top, and then someone get mad because they couldn't figure it out. And it's not that, I don't want to say they wouldn't try, but it just kind of seemed like they had no interest in being good at it, and not being good at it made them mad. So they just didn't want to play anymore. And that you could chalk that up to being young, but it continued on until like with girlfriends and things, and it kind of bummed me out, like because it was like we'd have fun at first, and then just like progressively the mood would change to, this is stupid, why'd we do this, kind of a thing. And I always have fun, even if I'm not good. I mean, I try to have fun. It's about the moment, and even being as competitive as I have been, I can lose pretty okay. I mean, like, there are some situations where I really don't want to lose, but, sometimes that was mostly Call of Duty. I would be real. That was mostly Call of Duty, where I would just rage quit. But most of the time I can take a loss pretty okay. I mean, like, it's part of the game, right? Winning and losing. But, that's not always the case with bowling, especially. And music bowling, I'm sure there's been times where it's been other sports, but I'm not much of a sports player. I don't play sports often. The most I ever played it was in school, and I never really was on a team. I was on a t-ball team once, many years ago when I was, I was 7. I think I was 7, and I broke my ankle the first week of practice. Like, I had been on a team, and that team was practicing at this field that was closed. And to get onto the field, we had to hop a fence. And my dad was like, no, we're not hopping a fence. We're going to play right. I mean, we're going to play on a field we're supposed to be on. And the coach was like, oh, we do this every year. It's fine. No one's going to get in trouble. So we found me another team. That took a couple weeks. So my first week of practice, we find another team. It's one of my friends is on that team, and his mom is the coach. And she lets me come on because some kid dropped out of her. She doesn't have a full roster anymore. So it was a good situation for us both, I guess. And then my first week of practice, I broke my ankle. I was climbing on some wood behind my house. No. I dug a hole in the front yard, and I fell in it. And it was a very big hole, but it was big enough for my foot, and just broke my ankle. So I was out for about 6 weeks. And the season for T-ball was a little over 12 weeks. I think it was maybe 12 and a half, could just fit in the final game or whatever. And then this was before everybody got a turn. And we'll just pitch balls until you hit one, because everybody can play the game. It was long before that. This was all right, just show up to the game, and if you don't play, you don't play, and if you suck, you suck, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so I showed up to the games, and I sat there, and I didn't get to play, and I would just watch and learn, try to learn as best I could anyway. And then 6 weeks go by. I get my cast off. It smelled terrible. I remember that smell forever. It was just awful. I loved it because I was 7 and disgusting, but it was bad. And then I had a cool Ninja Turtles cast. It was great, but they cut that off, and I convinced my mom to let me keep it, and I had it up in my room. And then I was bouncing around. I was climbing on some wood in our backyard, and I fell, and I sprained my other ankle, and I was out for another 5 weeks probably. And then our team didn't make it to the finals, and I didn't get to play at all because when my air cast came off of the second ankle, we didn't qualify for the finals or whatever. So that last couple weeks wasn't us, and we had pizza, and I got my cast off that day, and was running around eating pizza and having fun, and I still had fun. But that was my pretty much sporting experience, and then I'm going way off. Sorry, the topic was my bowling experience. Cover sports some other day, but so sports aren't my strong suit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I enjoy the sports that aren't really sports, like bowling. It's good. Mini golf, I can get pretty good at. Pool, I like pool. It's all ankles and stuff, and my math nerd part of me loves that stuff. So pool was always fun, but bowling, I have a love-hate relationship with, because bowling, I don't like necessarily to bowl alone because there's no competition in it. It's just beating yourself, basically, which is fine, but bowling was always a social activity for me. But I've never had a good bowling experience with anyone where we had fun and then we went home happy. It was started fun, got bad, got angry, we left angry, didn't play anymore. Then I got a new friend or a new group or a new girlfriend or whatever it was and tried again, and never worked out. But this time around, I just thought that was the curse of bowling, maybe if you're a pro, other than that, that's just a curse that bowling suffers. And some people like it, some people don't, and I just never found anyone who liked it. So I just kind of chalked that up to that. But then I went bowling recently on a whim because I just wanted to get out of the house to do something. And we ended up going bowling. Nothing else to do, really. So we went bowling, and we had a blast. I loved it. We had a lot of fun. And it started to go the way of the bowling curse, and it always, as it always does, she wasn't doing that great. I wasn't necessarily doing that great either. And then I saw it happen. I saw it. She turned around. She was pretending to be happy, or maybe she wasn't pretending. Maybe she genuinely was. But I just saw it as, oh no, this is it. This is where she's gonna say, I don't want to play another game. Can we go? And I'm gonna say, can we just finish this game? Because I always say that because I'm sadistic or something, and I think maybe they'll enjoy it, and then we'll finish it. And she came over. She sat down. She said, hey, it's your turn. I was like, okay. So it's after this, if I do well here, if I do better than she just did, then I'm going to get to talk. So I pulled my frame, and I got a gutter and another gutter because I'm not great. and turn around. I was like, oh, well, it's your turn now. So then she goes and does her thing, and then she did okay. She didn't strike it, but she hit some, which was good. And then, it happened again. I was like, this is it. This is the one. She's going to turn around. She's going to say, she did. She turned around. She said, I don't really want to play another game. I was like, okay, that's fine. But she didn't try and leave early. So we finished out our game. And then about frame 9, and maybe 8, it was, I don't know, somewhere in there, 8 or 9. She turned to me. And I was trying to give her tips the whole time, trying to help her a little bit with her game. And she turned to me and she said, I've been going left a lot. So what I'm going to do is throw it right, and I'm going to angle it and try and get it to hit the middle. Kind of correct for the curve. And I was like, yeah, you should try that. Yes, absolutely. So she tried it. Went right down the center. I nailed a bunch of pins. Best shot she's had all night. She turned around, and I was genuinely happy for her. I was like, that was great. You'd figured it out. And then it was my turn, and I tried again, and I went, and she went, and we finished the game out. And then as the little digital board said, hit the space bar to play another game, I was ready. I bent over to start untying my shoe, and she reached over, hit the space bar. I was like, we're playing another game? She said, yeah, absolutely, we're playing another game. She was just getting good at it. So at that moment, I had this beautiful moment where it was like the bowling curse broke, right? So then we got 2 games, never done that ever. I've never played 2 games straight. And my fingers hurt like a motherfucker at the end of the second game, I'll tell you what. But it was fun. We had fun. She genuinely tried, and she got way better much more quickly than I would have imagined. And by the end of the game, I had only won by 2 points, and she got a strike on the 10th frame, so she got to bowl, a third one, and that sent her straight up to me. And I mean, she got really good from the beginning of that game to the end of that game. She improved at least 100%. At least it was great. So then, I don't know. It made me realize some things. Like, one, I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I knew that already. I knew that, but where happiness comes from, or where the lucky comes from, I don't know. They're hand in hand, really. Is the little moments like that. Like, if you compare it to the grand scheme of things, we're not super rich. We don't live the life of Instagram models or Jay-Z or anything like that. We're just regular people in this world. But we have each other, and that game of bowling, man, it impressed me on this level where I don't know, I couldn't find an emotion that fit proper. I mean, I was happy, but at the same time, I was impressed. And that impressed was like, I was also proud. And there was just like this weird emotion it was all the positive ones. I was not sad in that moment at all. It was a beautiful moment. And I might have been overcome by the beauty of it And that might have made me, like well up a little, but I didn't cry. I reached over to her and I said, "You impress me in a really weird, just amazing way. Like, this has never happened." And I told her a story about, all the other times this has never happened. I've never played 2 bowling games in a row, and my hand hurts really bad. But I'm glad it happened, and I had a lot of fun. And it was like, in that little moment, nothing changed. We didn't get in a fight. We didn't break up. There was, I didn't propose to her. It was nothing like that. Nothing changed. But at the same time, a lot of things changed where, like, the bowling curse broke. She said she wanted to come back and do some more eventually. There was this weird, like, I don't know if respect is the right word, because I already respected her, but it was like a compound effect to that respect that I had for her. It was I don't know, it was real. And, like, I was just, I don't know, recently I've just been reflecting on things like that, just little moments like that. And that's where you find your happiness, I think, is where it comes from, is little things that you just notice, little moments like that, little things is where you realize how lucky you really are as a person. You have a house. It's not the best house. It's a house. You'll rent an apartment. Probably not the best apartment, but it's a place you live, and you don't live on the street. You have a car. Might not be the best car. You just gotta look at what your situation is a little harder, and you'll realize that your luck and your perseverance and your hard work and all that stuff, everything adds up to, like, how lucky you are. Because luck, I've heard, is where preparedness meets opportunity. But in the not so much but in I'm not trying to dilute that, because I like that saying. I've always lived by that saying. But what I'm trying to attribute it to here is, like, in your life, just as your life. Some people say, yeah, that guy's lucky. I wish I had luck like that. I'd live the life or whatever. But, like, that guy did something, whatever guy that is, the guy who won lottery, the guy who did anything, he did something that you didn't do, or you didn't do like he did, or whatever. And that added to his luck, because it was, like, and wallowing in it isn't helping you. It's just holding you back, like, if you compare everything to everybody else, if I compare even my situation to the situation of anyone I know, I could make their situation better than mine. I could make my situation better than them. It's all in how you look at the small little facts of life, like the small little things, like having a roof over your head. Some people don't have that. And a job that you like. I had one. I don't anymore. I'm looking for one, if that means anything. But just these small things, like, are you paying bills? Yes. Am I paying bills so far? Yeah, I'm paying bills. Am I living on the street? No, I'm not. Do I have food in my stomach? Yeah, I do. Might not be the best food. Might not be healthiest food. Might not be the food I want it to be, but it's food, and that's important to this. Like, I am lucky in that, like, all my life, everybody told me, you're going to amount to not much else but a criminal, really. It's what I was set up for. And here I am. I'm not. I haven't killed anybody. I haven't got addicted to any kind of drugs. I have my own place. I'm living on my own. I have this really nice microphone. I don't want to, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, I didn't cheap out. I put the work in. I got a nice mic. But yeah, so I don't know. I just wanted to say, like, I just wanted to talk about my great girlfriend, I guess. And she is a lovely person. She's a really nice person and beautiful on the inside and the out. And I'm just very lucky. And you know, like, I went through a lot of shitty relationships. Not a lot. I'm not, like, sleeping around or anything. I went through some relationships that I thought were great, and then they weren't great, and then I tried to make them great. And that made me realize, today especially made me realize, you know, like, with the bowling thing even, it's just, you're not supposed to put work into it. I mean, you are a little bit. You gotta compromise some stuff here and there. You gotta make sacrifices. You know, you gotta decide where you want to go, but you gotta talk to each other, and you're not supposed to have a baby to stay together, or, you know, get married so they won't leave you. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to get married when you're happy, not get married to be happy. And like, bowling really made me, I don't know. I don't want to say made me see the person that she is, because I kind of knew the person that she is, and everything about the bowling experience just reinforced everything I knew about her in a beautiful way. But so I guess, you know, maybe you could use that information next time you're with someone, you're not sure where it's going, or if they're lying to you, just take them bowling, see the person they are deep down. It's frustrating because it's hard, but it's rewarding if you can sit down and learn it, you know. So maybe try that, or don't. If you do, let me know. I guess that's about everything. I'm just kind of talking in circles now, and I got what I wanted out of this. I did. Not gonna lie. This one and the one before were kind of selfish endeavors, and you know, they were for me, just trying something out, and that's okay. I feel like that's okay. Every now and then you need to just do something for you, and people don't like it, they don't like it, but you did it for you and you feel good about it, and that's good, you know. So don't kill anybody, though. That's not good. That's, you know, that's taking a life. That's not good. Probably don't do drugs either. Those are bad. Those lead to habits that you don't want. And but other than that, you know, record a podcast, talk about your girlfriend. Or, you know, don't do that. Like, don't say stuff that will get you in trouble, but, you know, just do something. Do something that you want to do and enjoy it and feel good about it, you know? Don't let anyone tell you you shouldn't. You should feel good about what you do, as long as what you're doing isn't interfering with somebody else, you know, don't hurt anybody, I guess. Be kind to each other. As Bill and Ted once said, be excellent to each other, you know? So I'm going to leave. But before I leave, I'm going to do the DJ thing again. I like that. I enjoyed that. So get a song ready that you want to listen to after this is over, or don't. I mean, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I would like it. I would enjoy it. So pause the video, and we'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, it's time for me to leave. You've been a wonderful audience, and I will see you guys. Well, I'll be here next time. I don't see you on the radio still. That's not a thing that happens, but you'll hear me next time, and thanks for tuning in. In the meantime, I will leave you with this.